Hey guys, King of Charmass here to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and today I bring to you the most powerful Tap team in the entire Love Cup. Yes, I said that. You know, I normally don't use Tap teams, but you know, some of y'all want to get through your sets really quickly like I do, so that you can enjoy the rest of your day, especially since most of you are probably playing this cup just for the Stardust, and then you're gonna take a chill pill because none of y'all like Little Jungle Cup. But if you want to run through your sets quickly, this is the team to do it. I will lose multiple leads in this shoutcast, and I will tell you how to play out of them. So, again, nothing super deep. This team features Vileplume, Alomomola, and Magcargo. I said that perfectly. You know, I'm having a problem. You will see in the shoutcast, I just really jack up Alomomola's name. The only reason I say Alomomola so good is because I used to say see, I jack it up so much. LOL Mola. Yes, you can LO out me. Or you can unsubscribe because I'm unable to say Alomomola articulately throughout this video. But, hope you guys enjoy. Again, this team is going to get through your sets really quickly. Statistically, it is this was on Pvpoke.com, this was like the team that like kind of stood out to me as far as like what can I do to get my sets done fast, and you can tap and do it really fast, and this is the team to do it. Vileplume, Alomomola, Sway Switch, and then Magcargo. It's not a super tap because you'll notice that I actually use like energy management and like certain move sets, etc., or like nuking through shield, etc., or just like farming down something so I can hydro pump with Alomomola. It's not super tap, but it's still really freaking, well, yeah, it's still really good, and my battles still go by pretty fast. But before we get started, my mental health tip for the day will be anxiety for Go Battling. So I'll stream it today. For those of you that don't know, I stream on Twitch on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's usually my solid time frame, and then Monday and Tuesday sometimes I'll stream. Usually Mondays and Tuesdays I take off, but for sure it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you want to say hi on Twitch already, several of you already came, and I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. For those of you that have came, if you don't make it, don't worry about it. I still appreciate you. I still love you, and make sure you like and comment for the algorithm. Or, yes. And also, if you want to catch me on Twitch. But a lot of, one of my old-time mods, like, when I started streaming, like, a few years ago, he was like, I don't play Go Battle League because I'm anxious. It causes a lot of anxiety, etc. And this is a little piece about anxiety. So anxiety creates something called feedback loop. So this is anxiety. Whenever you're anxious about doing something, it's going to, like, you're going to feel like it's gonna, that constricted feeling, you know, that nervousness, etc. And then you're gonna do something called a feedback loop. So then this is you on a track, and you're gonna run circles over and over again until you can't stop. That's why a lot of people that do Go Battle League get really anxious, stop, and then go back in it. So if you need to rest. But generally, if you watch me stream, I'm pretty chill about my sets or just battling in general. I just really don't care. I've battled so much that I could consciously battle the best players in the game and still beat them and do sacks and without like zero emotion. No anxiety, no anxiousness, no nervousness, just pure and absolute zen. And hilarity, because yeah, I'm pretty funny when I just royally screw up my win condition, but it's okay. But in order to break that feedback loop for anxiety, you need to do something. So that's why people take deep breaths. Some people do coping mechanisms. For me, if I'm not really anxious about a lot of things nowadays just because I'm in therapy for so long, and I usually do my 10K runs, which are 6.2 miles 3 times a week or more, actually 4 times a week right now. So 4 times a week right now, and then that's kind of like I just process my garbage then. But if you find yourself anxious about something, stop. Wait a minute. And then that's a song actually, but yeah. But stop yourself, take a deep breath. Like take a deep breath, like if you're anxious in battle, take a deep breath before you battle, and then poof, go into it. If you feel too anxious about battling, just stop. Don't worry about it. Go Battle League isn't that great, and it's not worth your mental health or sacrificing the good part of your day so that you could play it. This is why I'm doing this video, so that you guys can enjoy your day by tapping your opponent to oblivion. But yes, breaking anxiety with feedback loops means, again, take a deep breath or do something to take your mind off it. Put away your phone, put away the game, play something else, and then come back into it. Me, I could do 100 battles straight. I honestly could. I don't take breaks. That's just how much cardio I have, and like I mentioned, I don't really have a lot of anxiety for it, but I've had to train myself too. So, I've essentially trained myself, and you too one day can break your feedback loops with Go Battle League and just battle and make legend naturally without having to worry about it. And without further ado, let's get started. And here are the battles. Alright, yes, this is a tap-tap team. There's not a lot of sophistication here. However, you can come back from losing leads. As you see here, we got Ariados into Vileplume. I'm gonna switch on immediately. Alomomola is definitely your safe switch here. The reason why we use the fish is because of the fact that if you switch into Magcargo, you're going to die super fast if it's the fish. And the fish generally has a better matchup against a lot of things, unless it's an electrode. So we lost lead, we also lost switch. So can we come back with a win con? We don't know, let's find out. As you see, I'm gonna fire up the psychic. Hopefully I get the debuff, that way my waterfalls do more damage and I don't get the debuff. As you see here, I'm frantically tapping and my opponent actually blows their energy instead of saving it. This could possibly give us a win condition. So I'm actually really happy right now. My poor little fish is going to get electrocuted and destroyed, but that's okay. We still have Vileplume, we still have Magcargo, and you already know I'm going to send in Vileplume. Vileplume resists these volt switches. It's going to resist discharge unless we get beamed. So hopefully we do not get beamed. I need to save boat shields for Magcargo in order to come in a win condition, and this is actually a foul play electrode. I told you, for those of you that watch my content, Hyper Beam is the best. If my opponent Hyper Beams here, that's GG's. There's nothing I can do with that because I will one-shot my Vileplume. I'm going to let Vileplume go and go to a bazillion energy. So as you see here, my opponent isn't able to get to another move. That's freaking phenomenal because we have an Ariados and something else in the back to deal with. I'm kind of scratching my head because I'm like, is there a win condition here? If they have a Magcargo in the back, I might be able to come out W. They let Ariados go and they have a Magcargo in the back. This is awesome. We're going to be able to come out with a W. We're going to hit you with Rock Bomb. You know, like Rock, the most electrifying wrestler on the planet. I miss those days when I was a little kid and I would watch The Rock and everybody else perform. But now is those days. WWE is now a whole lot worse than it was back in the day. Back in the day, everything was so goated. Oh my gosh, the NWO versus WWE versus the WWF versus WWCW storyline is still one of the greatest matches of all time, and I loved it so much. For those of you wrestling nerds, we can be best friends. I have the 2-to-1 shield advantage here. All I have to do is double up on Rock Tomb, and that's GG's. As you see, I'm overcharging to Oblivion, but here's the thing. I have, again, it's the 2-to-1 shield advantage. This Rock Tomb will almost KO, and then I should be able to get to one more, and then that's GG's. Even my opponent does get to another one. The thing about it is that you're more debuffed than I am, and as you see, they would need 2 Rock Tombs to take me out at this range, and that's GG's. Despite losing the lead and the switch, you can still come out with a W. For some odd reason, that actually worked out. So, this team isn't as RPS as it looks. Well, it's pretty RPS, it's not gonna lie. With some energy management. Mr. High C is my next opponent. We get Vileplume into Ariados. What is up with this? We lose the lead once again. We have to say switch into Alomomola. As you see, I have multiple examples for you to come back from losing leads with this tap-tap team. It's so sophisticated. You know what I mean? Extremely sophisticated. It's like the Warriors when, for some odd reason, here's the thing. When you get Ariados, they stay in, which is great. If they stay in with Ariados, then this is awesome because they have to shield here. Because Psychic does big damage. That's why Alomomola is really great for the Love Cup because of its ability to cover poison types, which happen to be, even though Vileplume is a poison type, Ariados double resist grass because of its dual typing resistance, so it's like, okay, cool. As you see, we're just gonna get another move. Hopefully I can get to another one. As you see, lunge goes off. We're hoping we can get to another Psychic, and we do! This is awesome. I want to eliminate the Ariados threat. Hopefully we grab a second shield here, or they just let it go, and they choose to let it go. You lost a shield, I take switch. We are vibing hard right now. We get a Slowbro, and we have shield advantage, so I'm going to send in Vileplume. As you see here, this is absolutely chunking at the Slowbro, and we're just going to have a repeat of what happened last time. As you see, all we're going to do is just straight Rock Tomb. We got the 2-to-1 shield with Magcargo. All we're going to do is shield everything. We're going to hit the straight Rock Tombs, we're going to debuff our opponent, and then we should be able to come out with a dub. Especially since we do have shield advantage. Yes, my opponent will debuff me first here, but I have a lot of control because I still have a shield. Rock Tomb will go off. They're gonna eat this one because I'm debuffed, so it's okay. And as you see, my opponent is probably gonna win CMP, so that's perfectly fine. We fire the Rock Tomb, and I actually win, and I actually get fire. I'm like, oh, you didn't fire. Strange, but it's okay. It's perfectly fine here. They're not going to shield, and they send in the Slowbro, and my brain is like, why? Ideally, you should shield. But I think the idea they have here is that they're like, okay, Slowbro is fine. It's not fine. I have the 2-to-1 shield advantage. This Magcargo has a ton of energy, and we're going to be able to debuff the unholy crap out of your freaking Slowbro. And all we're going to do is use one of the most hated fast moves in existence in all of Go Battle League because it's Razor Leaf. And then all we're going to do is just chunk away at your Slowbro, and that's GG's. As you see, very vile. We lost the lead again. If they do try to stay in, just stay with the fishy and then try to psychic down, as you see here. Or you could just realign like you did in the last battle. GG's. So that's, yeah. These battles go by really quick. I'm glad they do. And if you want to get your Stardust very quickly, this is, and it happens to be a mirror match, and my brain's like, okay, so if you get the mirror match, who wins CMP? That's basically who wins the matchup. As always, when you get the mirror match, and if you don't lose a move, or if you're in the even tier, as you see here, Sludge Bomb goes off. Sludge Bomb is going to go off. Hopefully we can KO, or we're going to grab some shields here. As you see, Sludge Bomb goes off, and they do indeed shield. And I'm like, okay, I'm vibing. Because here's what we could do. What we could do is we could shield this one, and then we can go ahead and... we win CMP, so they're gonna have to shield the next one, and then we're gonna swap. Well, I'm gonna do something fancy. Basically, come out with shields. So as you see here, Sludge Bomb goes off. I somehow lost a move in between because, as you see, my Vileplume is actually weaker than theirs, and I'm like, okay, I'm in trouble. So I swap into Mad Cargo in an attempt to incinerate down, and I do, as my opponent is vigorously tapping. This could also be a mistake because, yeah, you have shield advantage, yeah, you have a sack, but here's the thing. As it's an electrode, which I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going to fire the overheat, and my opponent catches it. That was a terrible mistake. Ideally, what I should have done anyways is to just Rock Tomb in general. So I should have just straight Rock Tomb, because Rock Tomb would have just debuffed my opponent, and even if they try to catch like this, I wouldn't have been in so much danger. We still have a shield, though, so that's perfectly fine. I'm going to let this go, because I still have a Lolamola. So all I'm going to do is send a Lolamola, and I'm going to farm you down. And then there's going to be GGGGG's, as you see here. Well, that was terrible. I am so sorry. You can unsubscribe from me for saying all that, for doing that. No, please. Yeah, yeah. So all we're going to do is we're just going to farm down, and then I'm going to fire off a Psychic. So I could have swapped and cleared the debuff, but this is perfectly fine. All I'm going to do is fire off the Psychic, hopefully get the debuff, swap in a Vileplume, all I'm going to do is catch a move. This is just, I sacked Vileplume for no reason. Like, 1, 2, 3, sack it, and then I should be able to get to a Psychic. Because Alomomola is so thick and so bulky, I should be able to get to a move, avoid CMP, and then as you see, I'm able to get a Waterfall through. I did not need to do this. This was just me practicing sack swap. So, as you see, with a very sexy sack swap, and with a big fish, as you see here, we win the mirror match, and that's GG's. Great attempt for my opponent to try to come back with a W, but my balls are bigger than your... Wait, hold on. I'm not using Electrode. So, technically, my balls aren't bigger than yours, because you're using the ball, and I'm using a tap-tap team. So, their rivals are bigger than mine. We get legend on legend action. We get Vileplume into Aromatisse. Is it Aromatisse? I think it's Aromatisse. You can go ahead and roast me in the comments if I'm saying it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Aromatisse, right? I send in Mad Cargo. Mad Cargo does great against Lickitung because he resists Body Slam, so that's just the general consensus of it. But these battles are going by pretty quickly. Keyword is pretty quickly. All I'm going to do is Rock Tomb. We're going to Rock Tomb. We're going to take as many shields as we possibly can. And this team isn't as RPS as it... Well, it's pretty tap-tappy, but like at the same time, you also heavily rely on stuff like debuffs like this, or the fact like things like Alomomola, where you could possibly come back with a W if you do get the debuff, or if you're able to Psychic down an Ariados. Power Up goes through your debuff, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to hit you with the Rock Bottom. You know, the Rock Bottom, again, I miss WW back in the day. Nowadays, it's all bunch of legends and whatnot. I don't know. We don't need to see Brock Lesnar every 50 seconds, you know? I love my boy Brock Lesnar because he was in UFC, but still, I don't need to see that every time. I'm going to queue a move, and I'm going to swap out. As you see here, it's kind of terrible because they got that Psychic in, or I transferred damage, so this is a little dicey. Not only that, my opponent can choose to switch and farm down my Vileplume. So as you see here, they do that exactly. It's in the Aromatisse. All I'm going to do is Sludge Bomb here. I have a move queued, but I still have a shield on my Molomola. So there's still win conditions here. I'm still sweating pretty hard though, because I gave a switch for no reason, but it's okay. So as you see, we still have a little Mola, we still have Mad Cargo. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to send in Mad Cargo to Rock Tomb to debuff this Aromatisse. So we're going to debuff the Aromatisse, and then we're going to hopefully take a shield, and we do. We take the final shield, we take it down, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to shield the Thunderbolt anyways, and all I have to do is essentially just farm this thing down. And with the -1, as you see, these charms aren't doing as much chunk damage as they normally do if they were not debuffed. We're going to shield the Thunderbolt anyways. I don't want to take any damage. All we're going to do is farm down Aromatisse, and then we're going to wait for the Slowbro to come in, and we're going to fire off the Hydro Pump. Because Slowbro is so low and it's not that bulky, it doesn't have a big booty, you do not squat, sir, or ma'am, depending on which one you have. But, as you see here, all we're going to do is Hydro Pump down, make that Slowbro really wet, and then we're just going to Waterfall down for the W. And that's GG's! I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was pretty sweaty. I don't know, like, I was like, am I gonna lose this? Because I didn't want Alomomola, you know, despite the fact that I've been saying it perfectly for the past couple times, I can't say Alomomola to save my life. See, I said it right. What the heck, man? We get another Charmer. This is exactly what we want. And then we see the Mad Card go, and this is just your classic case of rock, paper, scissors. All we're gonna do is send in Alomomola, and then we're going to just Waterfall down. This team will get you those dubs quick. Again, if you lose the lead, say switch into the big pink fish, and then all you're going to do is just try to reline, try to be a little fancy, get the debuff with Rock Tomb, and then you too will also get the pin on your opponent, and you will be a WWE champion. Yes, I like making wrestling references. I can also do anime references too, so like rock, paper, scissors. Wait, wasn't there? No, there's an anime about like that, but I'm not sure exactly what. I don't remember. Anyways, we're just gonna Hydro Pump down here. I still have my Vileplume, and then we still got Vileplume. They don't shield, which is absolutely terrible. Hydro Pump does big damage if you don't shield, as you see here. And then this Wigglytuff is practically dead. I'm going to wait out to 8, and all I'm going to do is fire off Vileplume, and my opponent should either top left, or we're going to get a Pokemon we don't like. We get Talonflame. As here, all I'm going to do is just straight Rock Tomb, and then my opponent should quit out pretty soon here, because they absolutely have no win condition. You want to get through your sets quickly? Use this team. Vileplume, Alomomola, Slave Switch, and then Mad Cargo. Great team. Great tap team. Again, will help you with your energy management as well, just because like it's not entirely super tap, and well, yeah, it's not super tap. But hopefully, if you want to get through your sets quick, hopefully this does wonders for you, and that's GG's. Hope you enjoyed the shoutcast. Vileplume, Alomomola, and Mad Cargo. And so I hope your battles go by really fast as a result of this team. And then you get all the 5-0s in the world, so you may grasp in all the Stardust imaginable. No, seriously, like, this is probably one of the best times to do it, just for Stardust wise, especially if you don't grind a lot nowadays like I do. Like, I don't really have my grind spot that I used to. Can I go grind? Absolutely, and I actually live 5 minutes away from a really good grind spot. But I am privileged to do that. For those of you who are less fortunate, those of you who are less privileged, I really do feel with you, and I wish that the barrier to this game was a lot less than it actually was. I have the privilege of being able to drive 5 minutes and going to a good grind spot. Some of you don't, so I apologize. Maybe one day they'll fix it. Hopefully they fix it one of these too, so they make it an even playing ground, because it works out for everyone. Pokemon Go PvP, other than needing to be fixed, needs a bigger player base for it to be super relevant. So, yes, more equalism, more freaking people that want to play the game. One of these days, maybe. It might happen, but then again, it's Niantic, so it might not. Do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe for the algorithm. Well, actually, like and subscribe. It's totally free. As you see next to Charmanders, bottom right, there's a sub box right there. If you put your mouse there, you can easily subscribe. And also, please comment for the algorithm. I know some of y'all already booted that, but I really appreciate you. I really appreciate my community. I really appreciate all you that have showed up on my Twitch streams and said hi. I appreciate it. Don't worry, we're early. Don't worry if you're late. As long as you're there, if you say hi, that means the world to me. Good luck on your Go Bike sets. Shred all of your opponents to death and absolutely annihilate them so that you can get your Stardust. And I will see you guys on the next video.
That I need, all the things that I have craved, these are what I could have received.